Hello, this is the Husky Bible podcast number 48. And we're back. I hope that those of you who are listening to the Spanish version of this podcast are enjoying yourselves, because now I'm recording twice a week. Not a complaint, but I actually think this is good in order for me to get exercise, to get better. And hopefully I can provide a better content in the endless sea of content that there is now in the podcast game. Only I could decide to get into the podcast game just when it's oversaturated with podcasts about meaningless bullshit all over the world. And I just happen to be another grain of sand in that endless sea of sand of bullshit that are podcasts now. So, you're welcome.
You're goddamn right.
Yes, right. So, how you guys doing? I hope you guys are well. Hope that everything is
goody gumdrops.
Exactly. I hope that you are all doing well. Now.
Fuck off.
Well, that was Bulletooth Tony who said that, not me. I hope that you guys are well, actually. Yeah. What is that? That you guys are hoping that I am well too?
Pull your tongue out of my arsehole, Gary.
Exactly. I don't fucking believe that shit. Anyway, hope everything's well. Happy May the 4th, I guess, because I'm a Star Wars fan, so I guess I'm contractually obligated to let you know that I'm recording on a Tuesday, which happens to be May the 4th, and wow, we didn't miss any memes on the internet regarding that event, didn't we? Yes, the only day in the year where Star Wars fans stop being dicks to each other and to the Star Wars universe and actually try to be nice. I mean, it would be nice to have that type of holiday for Twitter, but Twitter is a cesspool already, so if only for those who have the fucking stomach to even take any consumption in Twitter. I mean, I just drop little hints and bombs here and there. Plus, I already repost whatever the hell I post on Instagram, on Twitter. And I just fucking forget that I have a Twitter because why interact with people who are clearly not well in the head. Let me just say that. And oh wow, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Well,
you know what? I wet my ass with your feelings.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Tony.
You son of a motherless goat!
Yes, right. Anyway, so what eventful shit can we talk about in this podcast that won't bore you half to death? Well, we can talk about how I lost my fear of darkness, of the dark. And although this story sounds, the premise right now sounds like, fuck my life. This is some boring as shit. I assure you, for the person that lived through the traumatizing event, it was not boring as fuck or simplistic as fuck. It has a very nice payoff in the end. So how do we recollect this story? How we actually frame this story? Well, we have to frame the story, obviously, first of all, starting out that I was and pretty much still am a fucking pussy, a fucking little cunt, a little bitch. Let's have Nick Cage say it better than I can. Well,
What am I, a fucking retard, man? Am I a fucking retard, huh?
that's right. That's pretty much nails it right in the fucking head.
You're goddamn right.
Okay. Yeah, you nails it right pretty much in the head. Anyway, well, back then you couldn't diagnose apparently what was to be an introvert. So people did not have a goddamn motherfucking clue what an introvert was. So my mom spend a lot of money sending me to a psychologist trying to there's something wrong with him. She wasn't wrong. It's just that she was aiming it in the wrong area. You just had to, aim for the right direction. I mean, eventually when I'm old, I'm going to be like this guy.
You asked for it. You got it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to be like that, but not now. I mean, now I can barely do some coherent sentences. I mean, whatever the fuck is listening to this shit right now is probably be like, okay, what the hell did I get myself into? And yeah.
Life is good, but it can be better.
Mm-hmm. What does that have to do with anything? I don't have a goddamn motherfucking clue. Right now, you bitches might be like... Exactly, because we were listening to this shit. Anyway, and me, I'm just like...
Wait a minute! What's happening to my special purpose?
I don't know. I really don't fucking know. I don't have a goddamn motherfucking clue. Anyway, enough with playing around with the soundboard. As I was saying, I was kind of R-worded in the past.
What am I, a fucking retard, man? Am I a fucking retard? Oh!
You know what? I wet my ass with your feelings.
So, when I was a kid, I had a lot of fears, and amongst them was going into darkness, and living in DR. Can you say blackouts a lot? If you lived in Dominican Republic, you probably are aware that blackouts is just part of daily life. You can have 2, 3, 4 of them in a day, or sometimes you just get a whole day with a blackout. No electricity whatsoever. That's just, your daily bread here. So, I don't know if it was a blackout. No, because there was no blackout. I just remember that my bedroom was dark as fuck. And there was no light coming into the bedroom, and I was afraid. I was probably 12 years old, because this was back in 1991. How do I remember this clearly? Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. So I start going up the stairs, because my parents had their bedroom on the second floor. Me and my brother were the dogs that were sleeping on the first floor. If some fucking asshole got inside the house, let him fuck the kids first, and then, we'll go up the second level and get to the daughter, and then we'll see if the people that live in the house are up there. So, yeah. Me and my brother lived on the first floor. So, I went to the second floor. I had this little routine, and most kids do that, My daughter does it to me as well. That when she's afraid at night, she can't fall asleep, she just opens our bedroom and sleeps in the middle of the bed with us. And I just wake up in the morning, and lo and behold, there's my daughter right there in the middle. My daughter is 9. She will be 10 soon in July. So I kind of know the experience. I understand where they're coming from. And I did that a bunch of times as a child. I crawled into the bed of my parents. Which is fucking weird now that I think about it, because when I was a kid, I can barely remember a time when those two coexisted peacefully. It was basically a shout fest, because my dad had very good surround sound speaker system back from the late 80s, early 90s, like discotheque level, like you can hear that shit from miles away. He had big amps in his room, and he used to blast that shit on full blast, just so that it could cover the shout fest that he and mom had because of my father's, indiscretions back in the day, because my dad was a womanizer. He lived in the street. He loved the street. He loved going out. And my mom called this bullshit, and he was trying to masquerade the sound. But the amazing thing is that at full blast as that music was at night, we could still hear the screaming and hear clearly what the fuck they were saying. So that's a merit to both my parents that had lungs for days to shout. So why do I bring this up? Because it's relevant to the story and where we're heading. Because this is how you tell a good story. You have to prepare the environment for the eventful conclusion. So to say that my mom and dad had a good relationship would be lying, because they live like cat and dogs in the cartoonish way, not in the real life, because sometimes cat and dogs do get along. But in reality, these two wanted to fucking kill each other. I mean, they couldn't live together, they couldn't live apart. And it was mostly fights. But they shared a bed for some fucking ungodly reason. I don't know why. So be that as it may, adding these little details, I go to the their bedroom, and I open the door slowly. And when I open that fucking door, lo and behold, holy Jesus Christ, this fucking thing just died on me. Fuck. Anyway, eventually it will sound in the middle of it, because fuck me, and having this shit properly timed, because fuck me, right? Okay, so yeah, lo and behold, there we go. Yes, they were fucking. I caught my parents fucking. And this wasn't not just like a nice little love session. No. This animal, this man who I call my father, was power fucking my mom. I mean, shit you see on porn. Like the most bestial form of fucking I've ever seen a human being do. It was like rage fucking. It was not power fuck. It was rage fuck. You could say I was like... Yeah. Needless to say, I was traumatized. I was flabbergasted. I was in shock. Mind you, they did not notice I was there because I hadn't opened the door fully. I just creased the door a bit, and I had my technique and everything because I opened that door slowly, and I opened the handle on the door, the knob on the door very slowly so it can make no sound. Plus, with the fury this man was fucking my mom, I would doubt very much that he would notice the Legion of Doom in full getup surrounding him, because he was busy. He was fucking busy. He had no time to be distracted because he had a task at hand, and he was going after it. And when I mean he was going after it, he was really going after that. I mean, you goddamn right. Woo! Jesus. I mean, when I'm talking about he was fucking, it was like... Fuck! And,
Hi fucking ya!
Oh my God. Ooh, and I was like...
What am I do, lad?
Exactly. What am I gonna do? I had to retreat. So I gently closed the door and... long ass story short, I'm cured from sleeping in the dark. Hasn't bothered me since. Good story. Ooh, nice story, right?
Cool. Cool.
Well, hallelujah, man! The Joker's wild!
You goddamn right. No. How would Walter White say it?
You're goddamn right.
There you go. With that gravitas. So, I mean, have I asked my dad about that issue since?
Don't ask! I said don't ask! I said don't ask! No question!
You goddamn right. Don't have no goddamn questions. I will never ask him or talk to him about that manner. Because of that. I mean, how would I judge him? I was like, oh, well, the performance, I give you an 11 out of a 10. I mean, you were going to lose your breath, but I guess the point wasn't a length of the process. It was more like getting it out of the way, I guess. And with all the friction and, wow. So yeah, it was a very disturbing time. Holy shit, who the fuck is gonna listen to this and be like, what in the fuck am I listening to? This is a dude that talks about God and Jesus in his Spanish podcast. In his English podcast, he's talking about his dad fucking his mom. Exactly. Well.
Goody gumdrops.
So, yeah, this was short. I'll keep it short and sweet. Won't bore you with more details. This week I've started drawing again. Just before, this is just me like giving a little bit of an outro. Started drawing again. Did Batman drawing, and I got myself a little ink brush, I guess, or ink pen, and started inking some of my old drawings that or recent drawings that I did that I had done on pencil, and I started inking those bad boys just so that I don't lose practice on the oldest Skillshare that I have, which is drawing, which has been my companion for most of my life, and I guess I have to honor that companion. And I just traumatized you guys with the most horrifying story, or one of the most horrifying stories that I lived through my life. And for that, all I can say is, you're welcome. I mean, this would help you guys too. Beautiful Dominican humor that only Latinos will get. Good times. Anyway, let's call this bad boy in and take it home. Thank you for listening and for taking this punishment. I know it's rough. It's hard to listen to this kind of shit, but it is what it is. And you know what? Getting that shit out of your system is what helps you keep on breathing. The bad part is to keep all that shit bottled up inside and not letting it out. And I have found a way to put that shit on an outlet called a podcast and have to share my pain and suffering with total strangers that will listen to this. And I will suffer the consequence of my childhood trauma. Again, you are welcome. So this has been the Husky by Boo podcast. Remember to go visit our website, huskybyboopod.com. Visit our YouTube channel, download and subscribe on wherever you listen to this shit. The two of you, add somebody that's as weird as you to listen to this. If you don't really care about them, like if you want to say fuck them, let them fucking suffer as well, then share the pain, share the suffering of listening to this bullshit, and hopefully we all get a laugh out of this in a very dark sense of humor kind of way. So again, this has been Ariel, and this has been the Husky Bible Podcast. Thank you for listening, and again, try to sleep at night after this beautiful story. Take care. Bye.